Hi, hello, and welcome to yet another episode of IPL Titbits with Gully Cricket. So we got Shash and me, Car over here. Shash, we promised a Super
Yes,
Sunday, and what a Super Sunday it was.
yes, definitely. I mean, the first match was quite exciting
Mm-hmm.
since it went to the last over to decide the result. And the second match, I mean, all the RCB fans would be very happy
Yeah.
because, not only did they win, but they won it with quite a big margin. Run rate is something that has always been an issue with RCB.
Mm.
So I think that should help them. And also going forward, it might give them momentum.
Hmm. All right, so I could see that you're being very nice and sophisticated and stuff, but I know you're very very happy that yesterday was a very very comprehensive win. So let's
Yeah.
analyze the day that was. The first match, okay, it was between the Chennai Super Kings and the Kolkata Knight Riders. So, Shash, fair to say both teams batted well in patches, bowled well in patches,
Yeah.
made their share of mistakes.
Yeah.
But I think it was Ravindra Jadeja who made the difference.
Yes, definitely. It was a battle between two evenly matched teams.
Hmm.
And I think you could also see that with how the match progressed as well.
Right.
As you mentioned, there was not any one big partnership in both the innings. Everyone contributed. I would
Hmm.
say Chennai, in that way, if you say their opening has been doing quite well. And even yesterday, they batted out a power play. They were scoring at around 9 to 10 runs per over, and they're
Mm-hmm.
utilizing it. But whereas if you take the Kolkata innings, I think no, except I think it was a team effort, where they managed to get 170. Everyone sort of contributed, except I think, yeah, like the openers, I guess. Otherwise,
Hmm.
yeah, it was like a good team performance, I would say. But then it was just not enough for them to win the match.
Yeah, I mean, probably as you said, right, just not enough. Okay. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, there were, as you said, right, some really good performances. And just want to talk about this guy, Shardul Thakur. Okay,
Yeah.
or as they call him, Lord Thakur. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
he seems to have that knack, isn't it? Whether with the bat or the ball. I mean,
Yeah.
even in the last over, right? He scored that paddle when everybody was struggling off Narayan. He comes in,
Yeah.
takes the important wicket. He takes Joe Root out. He takes Russell out yesterday. Okay,
Yes.
and still everybody, I mean, a lot of commentators, right? They're telling, you know what, this is supposed to be one of the golden periods of Shardul Thakur's time, and he should save it. And why is that? He's doing all these things because he's good enough. So why do they still
Mm-hmm.
think that, you know what, something is going his way? We never hear people talk about it like a Kohli or a Bumrah, right? Why is it?
Yeah, maybe because they've seen him through the years, and even I would feel that, like, he doesn't deserve a place because he would go for a lot of runs.
Hmm.
He has this knack of getting wickets, as you said. He's the one with the golden arm. You've seen that in the Test series, and now we are also seeing here because he picks those important wickets, which changes the
Hmm.
course of the game. Yeah, I think it's being a little too harsh on him because he's done it, even though it's been like a short period of time that you're judging him, but he's done it on reasonably consistent basis. Because
Right.
you're talking about playing Australia in Australia, playing England in England, and it
Ah,
doesn't get easier in those type of conditions.
right.
You're under a lot of pressure anyhow when you're playing for India, but then doing it there in their backyard takes some amount of skill and talent, I think, which he possesses.
Right.
Yeah, so I think he deserves the credit actually.
Exactly. Even I feel it. Especially like performing against Australia and Australia, England and England, when nobody else was performing in that particular match. Still makes sense.
Yes,
But I think he really deserves the credit. And I think we should just stop telling that, you know what, he's just getting lucky and all
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff. Because I mean, luck happens once, but not through
twice,
like, yeah, one
yeah.
year. Okay. But from a KKR point of view, I think they will not be heartbroken with the defeat, right? I think there are a lot of positives to take from that as well. Okay,
Hmm.
because especially when you know the table is like the fourth spot is still up for grabs.
Yeah.
Okay, and they would definitely feel they are in with the contention.
Yes, they would have ideally wanted to win that game so that they could keep up the
Hmm.
momentum that they had in the first two games, and they're slightly below in terms of points as well
Hmm.
because they had a very average first half of the season. But I think like they would realize that they're playing better than what they did earlier.
Hmm.
So I think that would hold them in good stead. And yeah, maybe see, like Morgan is a bit of a concern since he's not been getting the runs, but I mean, he can come good at any time. Uh, yeah, maybe that Russell dismissal, as you pointed out, like
Hmm.
that might have given them another 20 runs and that could have probably made the difference. But take nothing away from Dinesh Karthik as well. He came and played a cameo, which is generally used to. So I think they are going in the right direction.
Yeah.
So let's see how it pans out because it's getting all interesting now. Mumbai are under a lot of pressure since they've lost all the
Exactly.
three games that they played.
All right, so that was CSK versus KKR. So CSK, we should say, snatched away a win or got away with a win. And yeah, they look all set to make the playoffs. And going on to the evening game, Shash.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, okay, familiar story for Mumbai this season, isn't it? The openers performing well, good power play. Okay, and
Hmm.
they looked in cruise control. And that's
Yeah.
it. One wicket, and suddenly everything starts to fall apart.
Yes, I mean, I think it's been the tail, I would say, similar for RCB as well. I
Mm.
mean, where AB has not been in the best, it's not like he's out of form or something. It's just that
He's never out
he's,
of
he's
form.
getting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting out. I think Bumrah produced a brilliant over there.
Uh,
That put the brakes. Otherwise, RCB would have easily got to 180.
mm,
You know, Coming back to Mumbai, yeah, you see that they got off to a pretty decent start, chasing 166. They were like 55 odd for no loss in.
the
And I
power play.
think
Yeah.
the commentators in the air were also mentioning that Chahal has gotten Decor out a few times,
Mhm.
and he does manage to get it. I mean, Chahal doesn't get the credit that he deserves because he's been like the
Mhm.
lone warrior for RCB over the last 6-7 years, and
Mm,
he's been like performing consistently. And that wicket, gave RCB the energy, and then you never expected Maxwell to come and pick like wickets of Rohit Sharma and Krunal Pandya as well.
yeah.
So he himself mentioned that he's been working on his bowling and he's seeing the results. So it's good, that came of clinical bowling performance and one with a huge margin, which will boost the run rate as well.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, yesterday was just Maxwell's day, wasn't it? Okay, two crucial wickets with the ball. And talk
Hmm.
about the audacity of his batting, right? I mean,
Yeah,
he's switch hitting people for six, reverse sweeping people for six. Okay,
yeah.
I mean, we always known like he's capable of doing that. But
Hmm.
yesterday, I think he was very smart about it.
Yeah.
Okay, and probably I think that was the difference between say Maxwell and the other batters.
Yeah, I think he's a freak, man, if I have to be very honest. Like hitting reverse sweep is itself quite a difficult art. And,
Mm,
to get that much power and, the placement as well
mhm.
is unbelievable, because he was hitting it off spinners as well as fast bowlers. Adam Milne is not a guy who, he bowls quite quick, and
Yeah.
he was smart enough to use his pace. He knew the fields well, and you could see that in Rohit Sharma's face. He's like, he doesn't know what to do to this guy,
Mm,
because these are unconventional areas where
mhm.
he's hitting them. So I mean, any captain would be dumbfounded, as to what to do. I think maybe the only option that they tried later was bowling short of a length to his
Mm,
body.
yeah.
Yeah, so that sort of curtailed him a bit. But even then, I mean, it was a knock which gave RCB the momentum, even though I feel they fell short by at least 15, 20 runs as to what they were supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, definitely they could have scored more, but that was a very, very important knock under circumstances. As you said, right, Rohit was dumbfounded. But yeah, nice to see Kohli was really enjoying all those shots from the dugout. He
Mhm.
was really, really happy. And yeah, I mean, he himself seems to be in good nick, isn't it? I mean, I think he's giving consistent starts.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see that Kohli, is back in the runs.
Hmm.
You could see that intent, in fact, in the first few overs that he was trying to be positive. I think one area that he needs to work is like in the middle overs.
Hmm.
Uh, he both the games, he got to his 50s, and then when he wanted to accelerate, he got out. I think maybe if he could like get a few more boundaries in the middle overs, that would propel RCB to an even more competitive total. You see, he's getting 50 or 40 balls or 42 balls, so that you need to kick on after that. Otherwise, you're going to put the other batters under pressure. That's one small area of concern, is what I would say.
All right, so that's a small area of concern, but yeah, knowing Kohli, I'm sure he will find a way. to correct that as well. And Shash, we cannot conclude the analysis of this match without mentioning our own Purple Patel. Oh my God.
Yes.
I was watching the match. Okay. I was like, all right, it's getting interesting. There's Pollard, there's Pandya. Okay. Probably like 50 of 4 overs or something. So I was like, okay. I mean, they still have a chance. I mean, they have done it before, right? Pollard and Pandya
Yeah.
have done it before. And suddenly 3 balls and that's it. Game over. Talk about that hat trick.
Trust me, like my memories did go back, which has happened a few times against RCB.
Mm,
I still remember, I think there was a game in 2011, where I was not in India, but I was watching it.
mm-hmm,
But they were like 58 for 5 and they needed 170.
mm,
And I think it was either Hardik or Krunal along with Pollard. They managed to win the game from that position. They needed another 100 runs, 110 runs from 10 overs. They managed to get that, or like
mm,
12 overs. So yeah, we've had those memories, but I think Harshal put everything to rest. I think he's certainly coming of age, in terms of his experience. And I think Kohli backing him is also giving him confidence in
right.
executing his variations. I think it's quite smart, like he knows that people like Hardik and Pollard want the pace on the
Mm,
ball so that they can, Pollard, even if he mistimes it, it goes for a six. So I think it was just brilliant execution from him. And
mm.
you do you know that he's been on a hat trick 6 times, and it was the first time he actually managed to get it
Is it?
yesterday. Yeah, so that is why the
My
reaction,
goodness.
that's he was overjoyed. And I mean, why not? These things don't happen very often.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, the credit goes to him, for sealing the game for RCB there, because without that spell, you never know what might have happened.
Exactly. We never knew. And yeah, it's news that for me, he's been in a hat trick 6 times. That means he has taken like, two
He,
wickets in 2 balls a lot of times. And that
yes,
could, I mean, definitely be game changing as well. So
yes.
well done, CSK. Well done, RCB. So both of them look like all set to make the playoff this time around. And
Hmm.
yeah, so moving on to today's match. Okay. Looks like a match between two bottom place teams, SRH and RR. But
Yeah.
considering the position in which the tournament is, could be very,
Hmm.
very important, especially for RR. Okay.
Yes, I would say definitely for RR, because they're still in the hunt, and they need to win as many games as possible to stake a
Hmm.
claim, at least in the top four. So yeah, it is a very crucial game for them. But for SRH, now is the time for them to just
Hmm.
experiment with their squad, probably give chances, considering that they're no longer in the run, and then maybe try out a few players whom they can hopefully have in the 11 for the next season.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, something like what CSK did last time, isn't it? I mean, after
Yeah.
everything was gone, suddenly like they found Rutraj. Okay,
Hmm.
and yeah, I mean he's helping, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I know the next season has a complete overhaul with two new teams coming up and all of that. But I'm
Yeah.
sure they would want to just go enjoy themselves, right? Sunrisers Hyderabad, they'll say, okay, forget everything that happened. We still have 5 more matches, I believe. Yeah, 5 more matches. Let's just go enjoy ourselves and
Yeah.
get a few win under our belts.
Yes, they would just probably want to play fearless cricket and be uninhibited, because now they don't have the pressure of playing for the playoffs or whatever,
Mm.
and also give chances to a few people as well, uh, so that they can just have a good time there in whatever time is remaining of
Mm.
the IPL.
All right. So that's going to be a very important match, okay, today. And I'm sure it's going to be very interesting as well. It's SRH versus RR. So remember our contest, folks. Predict the man of the match. Yesterday for the first match, it was Ravindra Jadeja. Okay.
So
And
yeah,
unfortunately,
no
nobody
one.
got it right. Okay. Because there were a lot of predictions for Gaikwad, Faf Duplessis, and a lot of people. But yeah, never ever forget Sir Ravindra Jadeja. So that's the learning. And
3D cricketer.
exact bits and pieces cricketer, or as somebody would call
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure, right? Bits by bit, piece by piece, he has always
yeah. Yes.
been the most important cricketer for a lot of occasions. Okay, but yeah,
Yeah.
Glenn Maxwell was the man of the match for second match. A lot of you got it right. So I have written down the chits over here,
Let's
and
see who the winner
let's
is.
see who the winner is. Oh, can you believe it? Our own man.
Just Smith.
Yeah, just zero
The
zero
one who
three.
likes rhyming.
Yes.
Yeah, I can become a rapper in Punjabi, probably.
Exactly. I mean,
That's
I'm sure like
yeah,
even for today's prediction, we expect some nice little rhyme from you. Okay, so
yeah,
congratulations, Jazz. And this is going to be the link to predict the man of the match for today's
yes.
match. So enjoy the cricket, folks. I'm sure after today, everybody would have played like 10 matches. Okay.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, we might get an idea about the table as well. So
Hmm.
enjoy the cricket, folks. Have fun, and we will see you tomorrow again. Cheers.
Aye.